In this video, we'll continue adding notations to the wall section. There's one set of lines that I neglected to add to my floor assembly here. It's the flanges for the TJIs. Now we're looking at the TJIs from the sides in this particular view. If I go to the longitudinal section looking north, as had been done with this structure, the TJIs are running in the north-south direction. And this part here is the flange. So I'm gonna just take a quick measurement here. So 1 3/8, and then I'll go back to my wall section. And I'll add lines that indicate those flanges. So detail line, I want these to be thin because I'm looking at them in elevation, not in section. I'm going to draw a line here. And then I'm going to click on that line and I'm going to move it, actually, 1.375 inches down. Let's see here. Does it let me? I want to keep that insulation filling the whole space. So I had to re-extend it there. And I'll draw a line at the bottom and same thing. Click on it, move it up. Okay, now I have the flanges appearing and I can fix that bad insulation. I'm going to erase this one and copy the two lines and the batt insulation. Let's see here. I'll use this as my reference point, the upper left here, and come down and place them there. Okay, so now I have the flanges for the TJI showing. All right, next what I'm going to start doing is adding some text to label the components of the wall and for the floor assembly here. So I'm going to label the studs, the batt insulation, the 3/4 inch plywood sheathing. We'll create a note for the building paper or the house wrap, and the gypsum wall board and base and some other things. Some of these notes will go on the inside. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 notes that I need to get in the space above my level 2 datum here. So I'm going to copy this and I'll just make a few copies here, one on top of the other, and I'll move them around as I need to. Okay, so my first note is going to be 2x6 studs at 16 inches on center. Next note is going to be 5.5 inch batt insulation with vapor retarder. Okay, now I think I'm going to need to pull this note in a little bit. And by the way, I'm going to add this part of the note to the other insulation note that I had done up here. I think I have enough room because of the sloping away of the roof. So I can just leave that as is. All right, next note is going to be 3/4 inch. Actually, no, I've jumped ahead and I've added a bunch of notes, and you can go ahead and add these as well. I'm going to, basically I'm focusing on the exterior assembly we'll have a series of notes that go on the interior side, but first is the exterior. Starting from the outermost material and working my way into the depth of the wall. These are the notes that you want to include. The Tyvek house wrap, the reason this is in quotes is because this is a proprietary name. So this is an actual product. If we use generic terms, we don't need to use these quotes with quotation marks here. Also, I've added the vapor retarder to my bad insulation. So, you know, as you may know, there are a number of different types of vapor retarders. This one, as it's described, would be like the paper backing type. And that vapor retarder is on the interior side or the warm side of the wall. And I've added that same note to the bad insulation up here. In this case, the paper of the vapor retarder would be on the bottom of the batt insulation, again, on the warm side. Okay, so those can be added. And then we can start to add a few notes for the interior side of the wall. So I'm going to make a copy of this note right here, bring it across, and I'll click on it and eliminate the leader. So I clicked on this remove last leader, and then I'm going to add one to the left side. Okay, so this is going to be called gypsum wallboard. 5/8 inch gypsum wallboard. And again, this is the kind of proper term as opposed to calling it drywall, which is a common name also for it. And then I'm going to make a copy of this one and another copy. And a third copy. All right, I'll start with this bottom one here. I'm going to call out 14-inch PJI. And I'm going to move my leader down there. As I did with the left-hand side, we want to come out horizontally before we break. I may need to move this to the bottom, but let's see if we can get everything to fit. This next one is going to be hardwood finish floor. And I'll point to the top layer here. Oh, I missed. I'm going to add one more. So I'll copy this note into this one. This one is going to be 3/4 inch plywood subfloor. Okay, so I think I'm going to need to move this one to below the floor. I'm going to run out of space here. Shift this one down. Make a copy of this one. This one is going to be a 4-inch wood base. Okay, so let's make some adjustments to these. This is my subfloor. Let's pull this arrow, this leader line in a little bit. The finished floor is here. The wood base is here. Bring this up. Point to the TJI. Copy this note. One 1/2 inch gypsum wallboard. Okay, a couple more notes at the top here. Copy. That up a little bit. I'll call this room board. And as we had noted above, we'll call out the 2x6 double top plates. Just double check this at the same note that I put up here. Top plate. Okay. And I'll shift this arrowhead a little bit higher. Okay, so that takes care of this kind of middle section. The next area that we'll be working on is the level 1 floor and parts of the foundation.